Thanks for staying with us. So our hot topic today is about the ongoing feud between the Kano Emirate and Air Peace. According to the reports, the Air Peace airline turned down the requests of the Emir of Kano to delay the Lagos-Kano scheduled flight. However, the cousin to the Emir of Kano, Isa Bayero, wrote a letter complaining to the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authorities seeking punitive actions against the airline for what he tagged disrespect to the Emir and the people of Kano State. Now, what are your thoughts on this? Should Air Peace have complied with the Emirates' consideration of the fact that they delayed the flight? So, for those of you that had no idea what's really happening, so what happened was that Air Peace had delayed, there was a delay on an Air Fleet airline. I think it was from which country to Nigeria? Banjul. From Banjul to Nigeria. So because of that flight delay, I think they had called in the owner saying that your flight was delayed, and they wanted him to also delay the Lagos-Kano flight because of the Emir. Unfortunately, they couldn't do that for various reasons, maybe because the passengers were already boarded, and it was a bit too late for that. It was a 6:15 a.m. flight. So they felt disrespected, that, especially because the Emir himself had called. They should have at least delayed the flight. That's the real thorny issue here. What are your thoughts on this? You can call us on 081-270-53687, 091-390-7694. You can also send us messages on YouTube and Facebook. We'll be happy to hear your thoughts. So what's your thinking? I know this is the Emir. Emir is obviously highly regarded, and but there's also that part of, okay, flights get delayed. Now, should they have considered the important personality of the Emir to delay the other flight of Lagos to Kano, or had just stuck to the schedule that was already assigned?
This matter.
Let me start with you, because your body language already tells me everything. Let me come talk. I'll come to you.
Okay, so I'm of the opinion that in some climes, even though the Emir is as revered as should be for the stool he represents and the people he represents, in some climes, he wouldn't even need to ask, because the way the system runs, you cannot ask them to delay flights for. Like, there's no room for you to make such requests because of the way the system is. And within that system is a corrective measure if there is a delay to ensure that you are not missing your next flight, because the system works well. So the fact that a representative of the Emir had to call to say, oh, based on our current delayed flight, we will be missing our next flight, means that there was something already wrong from the part of the company, because they know that based on their current delayed flight, everybody with a connecting flight will be affected. So it should have been their own responsibility, that is Air Peace, to foresee the impacts of their delay and ensure that they don't put any inconvenience on their clients, regardless of if the client is an Emir or not.
But there will already be an inconvenience, whether we like it. Once the flight is delayed, there's that ripple effect. You see, what are your thoughts on this report?
If they have told us the reason for this delay, so I don't want to believe it's just because one flight has been delayed and they now want to delay another flight. There may be other reasons. If it was a case of emergency, or there was a life at stake, somebody's dying somewhere, and you're asking that a flight be delayed to be able to catch up, I don't know how that will work. That would be different. But what I see here is just egos flying. This is an organization. So even if you are holding a position, you shouldn't be the one to determine how they run. You will find out, okay, this flight is delayed, what else can we do? But to give an outright order that delay this flight for so and so reason, and then get offended because the flight was not delayed, I think it's taking matters too far. And I think because, you know, in this part of the world, we always believe that all animals are equal, animal farm now, but some animals are more equal than others. So if you see it from that perspective, you now say, do they know who is speaking? I am the Emir, I am this, I am that. Do you know who is in charge of this position? Do you know how connected we are? But if you look at it as an organization that's just running their business, they had a problem and they delayed their flight. Now requesting them to delay another one, it's not like a private jet. You didn't book just for you. You had other passengers who had businesses to do, and you're asked, I think it's just a bit unfair.
So let me go, Mariam, what are your thoughts? Because sometimes it seems our leaders live in a bubble. You know, they're in this bubble where they're in charge. It's all about me, myself, and I. They delay that flight, and of course he gets it. There was a time it was okay. People did it. You know, commissioner is coming. Oh, the governor is coming.
Everybody
times have changed. You now can see a governor and say, hey, good afternoon, how are you? What did you do? You know? But then you couldn't do, how dare you talk to the governor? Yeah. In this situation, do you think things have changed, or we should at least adhere to those moral values that we hold there, those cultural norms of revering these stools and not allowing, you know, just doing what they say?
No, we must revere the stool, but there are different ways to do that. For me, too, the questions that came to mind when I read this, because on both sides of the conversation, you made like really good points, and I get that. But my questions were, is that why people have been delaying us all this time? People can call you to delay flights. It just happened that this one was taxing or you could not delay it. Is that what has been happening? You know, is there a relationship? Is there like a monetary relationship with VIPs or VVIPs and airlines? Do they pay more and so expect more? Do you understand? But I feel that civilized societies must have gone through this and realize that that's why we hear them. They have their private jets, or, you know, they have other sort of arrangements that, you know, their itinerary does not affect regular people paying their hard-earned money, you know, to be on a certain flight at a certain time to get somewhere. Because many people, especially that very first flight, is because they're trying to meet up with a meeting or something, and then to ask for that flight to be delayed by an hour. But, you know, what Opa says is important. The airline, you do this to regular Nigerians who stay there 4 hours, 5 hours, and nothing happens. You get away with it. But now this is someone who feels, I know what my rights are, and because you delayed me, you caused my delay on the first leg of the flight, then you should have compensated me, because what the spokesperson was saying for the Emir was, I had to make the suggestion that you get us a Lagos to Abuja flight. And then the airpiece was saying that they would give them a free flight from Abuja to Kano, that he had to recommend, that had to make it. So even the airline itself was not, on top of it to say, okay, we have delayed this person. But asking that a plane should be, so the only way I feel that airline did the right thing is for not delaying that flight. Because if they had, and the reason they gave, the Emir would have looked really bad. And nothing could have saved him. Everybody, oh, so this is what you do. So you have to be on, air peace in this case is not the innocent victim. They also did something wrong, and they should have sorted it out one way or the other, gotten him a flight straight, you know, by himself. And to ask that a flight be stopped for you, delayed for hours, knowing that there are other people there who are paid their money.
So, Mariam, I wanted to stay on that. So this cousin that is asking for punitive measures, does he understand that he's about to delay professionals, businessmen, also on their own important meetings, by asking for a 1 hour delay? Do they put us first? You know, I am the Emir, I am the Oba, I am the chief. Do they ever think, do these people, these influential, privileged people, think about the people first before them? It seems like it's all about, we need to get to Kano, delay the flight because of us.
No, Muraya, culturally, the Kabiesi is what we call our Obas in Yoruba, and it means unquestionable. We cannot ask you a question. You are above. You know, they even call them deity. I have, in the recent times, in purchasing something in Benin, got interactions with the way people refer to the Oba of Benin. They call him Daddy, like you cannot call his name. He's not, you don't talk about him like that. You don't mention him. So we have that revered too. He's not a VIP. You know, he's not a VIP. He's the Oba, he's the Emir.
So should that be enough,
it is a different level. And because of a few Obas that have watered down their stool by playing dirty politics shouldn't water down every other respected person's stool. So I feel that they are not VIPs. Yes, that flight. I feel that they're not VIPs. It's an Oba. I feel that you might not delay the flights for him, but you should have immediately, you shouldn't even be asking. There should be apologies, there should be an entourage waiting for him. You should over-respect what he represents.
So maybe AirP should have sent him a private jet or something, or gotten another.
There should be so many plans. Yes, like you must go above board in a way that they would understand that you respect their person.
Okay.
If that was
that was the missing link.
Yes.
Okay. So I like the fact that they could have done something else except delay that flight. Because the truth is, somebody could have been going for an interview. Somebody could have had a meeting, a life and death emergency. Somebody could have been taking the child to the hospital and they needed to meet that doctor at that time. They just had a short time frame to fit in. You can't stop everybody's life because you are an important person or you are a God. What would Jesus do? We're talking about servant leadership here. You can sacrifice some things just because you want other people to be okay. Did you think for a moment that there could be other professionals in that airplane who have important things to do? Or you just, because I am a God, when I'm coming down in my glory, every other person should stand still. I think we need to move away from that. We're evolving to understand that every human life matters. And that's what we're preaching. Whether you are a God, you are an Oba, whoever you are, understand that every human life matters, and you should try as much as possible to have empathy for other people.
Let me go on a break. When we come back, I'll let you respond to that. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. We're still discussing the ongoing feud between Air Peace and the Emir of Kano. You're going to say something before the break.
Yes, you know, your question was, do you think Air Peace deserves punitive measures? And my answer is, I think that you do, not because of what the Emirate is asking for, that it would have delayed that flight, but also for every regular Nigerian that has gone to the airport and has waited 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours. No compensation, no explanation. Sometimes you get to the airport before you even find out that it was supposed to be delayed. Many times we hear of other, countries and how they do it. They would send you a message if something was going to happen. Long before you leave your home to go on that flight, they would have sent a message apologizing. If you find yourself there, they would put measures in place to make you feel comfortable. They would put you in hotels or things like that. But in Nigeria, airlines keep getting away with this sort of bad behavior. And I feel that the Emirates understood its right to complain and ask for compensation for when, they have been delayed. And I want Nigerians also use this as an example of what they too need to do every time they are delayed by airlines like this.
So I have a call from Ruth. Ruth is calling from Kano. Good morning, Ruth. Hello, Ruth. Are you there? Hello, Ruth. So I think we all agree on the certain facts that, yes, Air Peace goofed by delaying. Also, what I like what Tokwe said earlier was that even though you goof, we all agree that it shouldn't have delayed the flight, but Air Peace should have done much more as a sign of respect to that stool of the Emir. So he's not a regular Nigerian, but the fact that you respect his office and who he is, you should have ensured maybe get a hotel. But I don't think that getting him a hotel would have helped because it seemed they needed to get to Kano immediately. So it's possible linking him up to another partner airline. So please, can you accommodate the Emir because he has to be on that 6:15 flight? Because according to the report, they called the owner, I think the first at 5:30 or so, 5:15. They couldn't reach him. They called him the second time when he picked up. He tried. In fairness to the owner of Air Peace, he tried to get him on that flight, but unfortunately they had already boarded and they couldn't stop. So it goes back to the question we said: is that how they be doing it for others? I mean, is that why we always have this where there's an important personality? I mean, we've heard this where you are on air and they're saying that they can't board because an important person wants to land. You can't land, so you can't land. Because somebody wants to land.
Yes, it causes that causes delay.
I think business owners need to start working on customer service. We've had this problem over and over and over, especially all these airlines. Something is about to happen, something is happening, nobody will give you any form of information. We need to start calling them out and start suing them for this. Because every other place you travel to, something is about to happen, they are telling you, they are talking to you, they are having a conversation with you, they are making you comfortable so that you bear with them because these things will happen. Flights will be delayed. Sometimes it's not what... it's not planned. It just happens. It could be that they are refilling the fuel or something is happening with the engines and all that. We will always have this. But how do you communicate to your customers? So this is not just about the Emir because he's the Emir. It's about every other person who comes to do business with you. In fairness to
Air Peace, I've actually heard that they've improved the customer service. I mean, I know if people that have flown, I mean, maybe you guys can call to confirm or refute this. Some people have said that Air Peace have actually communicated. They've been very good at customer service. That's what I heard. So it's false because the Emir didn't complain. about customer service. He didn't say...
This is part of customer service.
What I'm saying, the point I'm trying to make is that we don't know what happened between the first leg of the flight. If indeed they were informed, it's possible, we don't know.
They didn't tell us.
Now, if indeed he's now asking them to delay the second flight. Customer service such that they try to call the MD. He tried to still work. He actually worked to get him on that flight. Unfortunately, he couldn't. So there's a possibility that they did attend to him, but they couldn't solve his problem of delaying the flight.
I'm reading people's comments, and it seems like we lost so much respect for our Obas.
Let me take this call from Ruth. Ruth is back. Good morning, Ruth. Are you there?
You have to remind them.
Hello, Ruth. Are you there? Can't hear her. Yes, you have some comments?
A lot of our comments, people just feel like, oh, we just the person take it easy. And I really, and I stand on it because somebody said I'm just playing devil's advocate. I'm not playing devil's advocate on this. I strongly believe that traditional rulers should be respected. You might not feel like they are gods, they are human beings like you, but if you don't respect leaders and authority, you cannot become a leader and have any authority. So if every individual, if we give ourselves mutual respect, we will have a saner society. These people have been appointed to help uphold our culture and tradition. We should respect them. Respect his age, respect his stool. We don't, because of the fact that a lot of things are going wrong in this country, become animals like the people you are castigating themselves.
Disrespect, Mariam, would have come. What disrespect would have come? If the Emir had come in after 1 hour to play with his umbrella, Nigerian social media, that's not taking pictures.
So I agree that I'm happy. I think all of us agreed that the flight shouldn't have been delayed, and that is clear. No flight should be delayed for one individual if it is not a life and death situation. That is on the same page, but it should be respected.
So having agreed on that, we need to remind Nigerians, we see how we fawn over all the Oyinbo royalty. We are reading magazines about them. We want to know what they are wearing, how they are talking. They have a whole machinery that ensures that the seat is respected. And we haven't done that for ourselves for a long time. And that is why we'll have people, especially the young ones, that have no respect for our traditional rulers, because we haven't shown them respect in so many ways. We also have to put it on them that they haven't also carried themselves over time, in a respectful manner. When you are in and out with politicians and politicking and things like that, it brings disrespect to the stool. So I feel that we should start doing better now. So it's important that the Emirates sent that letter, because it's their own way of also ensuring that this stool is still respected, no matter what. However it turns out, they did their part. And Nigerians will still, will understand this and start giving this group of people the respect that they deserve.
Right. Let me take Gani our final call on this. Good morning, Gani. Are you there? Good morning, Gani. Are you there? Hello, Gani. Are you there? You listen to the TV. Any comments on social media before we run off?
Yeah.
Okay, Gani is back.
Okay. Oh.
Yes.
Go ahead. You're live. Please don't listen to your TV. Listen to me, the phone. It's a few minutes delayed. Go ahead, please.
Hello?
We can hear you. Go ahead, please.
Hello?
I can hear you. Go ahead, please.
Okay. Yes, now I can hear you.
Listen to the TV.
I think our leaders should do more. It's a full flight, He should know the time. It's not, he didn't book it yesterday or that same day. He should be there on time. He should be there on time to make the flight. He shouldn't make others should wait for him. That's what it is.
So I have some messages here. Please, Stake Adenika Alaga says, come on, other countries have kings too, and we don't hear such rubbish about them. Kings should fly private. Tolu's View says, the Emir should have used his private plane if he's so pained. The train will never wait for anyone in London, even the Prime Minister. Kamal says, that was more like an insult, so I'm not going to take that.
I think this is a learning.
I think they didn't get.
This
is Kola did not get the message that what happened to the Emir was that his flight was delayed. Or his original flight was delayed, and so he was going to miss his connection, and he called that, since you delayed my original flight, delay the next one so that I don't miss the connection. And then the plane could not, they didn't delay for him.
I think this is a learning curve for all of us, everybody. The airline, even for the upper stool, the Emir stool, because we need to regard, they carry yourself with respect. Because it's the kind of respect you carry yourself with that even an airline will say, the Emir was supposed to be on this flight. Please, what can we do to get him on the flight? So is that respect that is lacking, that will make the Emir have to be the one to call the owner to get the respect and regard that he deserves. Either way, I think it's a learning curve across board for the airline, the Emir, and even the Nigerian people because of how we regard this tool. So going forward, the truth is that Nigerians are at a different level. It would be more disrespectful to the Emir if he made that flight. It would be worse because the pictures, what would have gone viral about him coming on flight would have been worse and more disrespectful to that stool.
What would have been here today?
It would be different. So I'm even happy that Airpeace did not delay that flight. Either way, you could have done better. That's all we can take on that. When we come back, move on to the next segment. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your view will be right back.